This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about Jordan Davis hinting that Fletcher Cox and BG will be gone. Also, Darius Slay seemed like he ain't like the coaching change with the defensive coordinators. And also, is Nick Sirianni actually here to stay? But let's get straight into it. All right, so before we get straight into the topics, let's talk about something that's a little confusing. Adam Schefter hit us with Jason Kelsey is retired. Like, he's done, and everybody was sad about it. Like, man, Jason Kelsey went out like this. The collapse season. This is what the season is going to be known for, the collapse season. And it seems like, Jason Kelsey is like, not really. I'm thinking about it, but not really. But let me go ahead and play this clip from New Heights.
Kind of gave me an opportunity to talk. I didn't announce what I was doing on purpose, despite, I guess, what's been leaked to the media. I just don't think you're in a position after a game like that to really make that decision. I just don't. There's too much emotion in the moment to really fully grasp that decision. I'm not trying to be dramatic and continue to draw this thing out. I'm really not. It's just something that I think, when it's time to officially announce what's happening in the future, it'll be done in a way that's definitive and pays respect to a lot of people and individuals that have meant a lot to me and has led to the career I've had. I don't think that it would be respectful or even accurate to be able to do that right after a game like that.
Yeah.
But I did address the team and pretty much said the same thing that I just said to you, which is, I got belief in every single one of you guys. Cherish the moment you have in this league. A lot of guys like, if that is your last game, I feel sorry for you. And I'm like, don't feel sorry for me, motherfucker. I've had a
Hell yeah, brother.
As you see, doesn't sound like a guy that's ready to go. Sound like a guy he really doesn't know. To me, what keeps Jason Kelsey of Philadelphia Eagles is the offseason moves, the coaching staff, what players are going to be around, because Jason Kelsey is too old to go through another rebuild. If he comes back, it has to be damn near like we're going to compete for a Super Bowl. So, hopefully we could keep Kelsey around. That's one of the older players I want to keep around because he's still playing at an all-pro level. So we'll see what we do. We would definitely see what we do as far as Jason Kelsey. All right, so let's get into the topics. Jordan Davis. A lot of exit interviews, a lot of the guys spoke, but there were some nuggets I wanted to take from the exit interviews. I'll play like Jalen Hurts, Jordan Davis, a couple of these guys, even Darius Slay. But let's start with Jordan Davis. So Jordan Davis spoke about, his collapse. He fell off towards the end of the season. He spoke about it being a roller coaster, and how he was at the highest of highs this season, the lowest of lows, and how he's not used to winning. I mean, not used to winning. I'm sorry, wrong word. Used to losing. See, like even last year, like we at least went to the Super Bowl, but this year was like one and done. Yeah, it was pretty disappointing. But he also hinted at something like, Fletch, BG, and these dudes might be gone, and that security blanket will be gone. But let me go ahead and play this clip of Jordan Davis speaking.
That for sure. It's a long season, long grind, but at the end of the day, I know what it takes. Have to do even more. I mean, my thing is just progression from year to year. Definitely got better since last year. Plan to get better next year, and that's just something me and Jalen was talking about earlier. It's just how we're going to take care of this team and take care of the D-line, because since Fletch is gone, I think Milt would be the oldest player in our D-line. So we're a very young team, or at least on the D-line unit, we're very young. But at the end of the day, we can't use that as a crutch. We can't use that as an excuse. We can't use Fletch as our security blanket, our backup, because it's not there anymore. So it's definitely a lot of maturing that has to go into this offseason, a lot of maturing from all sides. And I think that's just something that we have to really go into head on, because at the end of the day, it's no Fletch going to be out there, whether we just asking. I mean, of course we could call him. He's not dead or anything, but, it's just like, it's just, have him on the sideline, have him in the room every day, man. It's really like, it's kind of like a security blanket for us because, we like, all right, man, we can always look towards Fletch. We can always look towards Fletch to lead the way. But at the end of the day, it's going to be us leading. It's on our shoulders. And, it's a lot of pressure. I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat it. It's a lot of pressure that goes into it. But at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. I think that we're going to create diamonds next year instead of busting pipes. So you're definitely looking forward to it. Got to take this time to enjoy the off season. I mean, as crazy as it is that we had to end it this early, but definitely take a little time to get our mental back right, get everything. But at the end of the day, we have to get ready to work.
As you see, he spoke about like how, this might be the end of it, like the Fletcher Costa BG. And I know they're free agents, but this is my opinion on the Fletcher Costa BGs and things like that. You got to rip the Band-Aid, man. If they decide that they want to play football, you got to get younger talent. You have to get younger talent because that's what hurt us this year. Let's be honest. Kevin Byard is up in age. James Bradbury is the guy up in age. Slay is up in age. Fletcher Costa BG was up in age. The linebackers was just mismatched all over the place. We couldn't even have the younger guy out there, Nakobe Dean, because he was hurt. We should have kept TJ Edwards because he was in his prime, but our defense was old, man. We got to keep it real. Then we had to pull a Darius Leonard, who's been having back pains, and the Colts even tell him, like, you ain't it no more. And we seen it firsthand. He wasn't it. So our defense was old, injured, and couldn't get it done. It had no heart. Definitely had no heart. So it's time for the Jordan Davises to step up. We need Keely Ringo to take a leap. We need Eli Ritz and these dudes to take a leap. We do. Zach McPherson, when he come off his ACL, we need him ready. We need these young dudes ready. Isaiah Rodgers, need him ready. We can't do it. I can't do it with Avonte Maddox injury prone, so I can't do it. So look, Jordan Davis is right. We need to rip that security blanket off, and it's time for these young dudes to step up the following year. Maybe you get some veterans here and there. Hell, I'm not opposed to letting just Kevin Byard go. Let him go through a whole offseason. Let him adapt to the new defensive coordinator and see what he got. But we have to have younger talent on the defense. So I'm with Jordan Davis with that. All right, so let's talk about Darius Slay. So Darius Slay had his exit interview. He did speak about his back. He said if it was like still the regular season, he would have been out for at least like 2 to 3 weeks. And he's good though. He's good. He's walking. Don't got no cane or no brace or anything like that on his back. But something he said was interesting far as the defensive coordinator change, and this is what he had to say.
Big move then, right? Moving away from Desai.
It's a big move all across the board. I never been a part of none of that, as in just a whole new coordinator coming in. That's tough, but I don't control that kind of stuff. I just kind of like, try to do my job the best way I can. But trying to find 2 identities of a coach is tough. That's like having like 2 marriages. Or the 2 marriages would probably be the household. 2 personalities of 2 women. That's tough. No offense to the women.
Talk about at the same time.
Yeah, that's crazy tough. Like you gotta what? I don't know. One might want a feet rub, one might make a shoulder rub.
It might be tough to be married to 2 slaves too.
Huh?
All right, as you see, he tried to make jokes out of it, but in all seriousness, it's nothing to do with Matt Patricia. It just sounded like, all right, we had one dude, we had this identity, then we went with this other dude with this identity, and it's like we were confused. It was too much, We should have just stuck it out with Sean Desai. Just let him go through his growing pains. Was Sean Desai the best? No. Hell, a lot of us wanted Sean Desai to go, but Matt Patricia was just worse. It was just worse. And I said it when we, picked up Matt Patricia. I'm like, what has Matt Patricia done in this league? Okay, He was with Bill Belichick, but we know who calls the defense in New England. He went to the Lions, was bad. He went back to the Patriots and was bad. And then he comes to us and he was bad. I don't think he get another coaching stint ever. Ever. So I went Darius Slay. It was too much. There's also an article floating around, and it is from Marcus Hayes, so take it with a grain of salt, that Darius Slay wanted Denard Wilson. You know, he even put his emotions out there on Twitter when we let him go. So I'm not surprised by that. And Denard Wilson got that secondary and like the Kyle Hamiltons in them. And well, Baltimore looking good. Looking good. And the reason why I wanted Denard Wilson, because we would have finally just got out of that Vic Fangio scheme. Because Denard Wilson is a prodigy of the Todd Bowles. He's a prodigy of Todd Bowles and those dudes. And say what you want about the Bucks, their defense is always ready to go. And we could have just had a similar scheme like that in Philadelphia, and maybe it would have worked. It's time to get out of that Vic Fangio playback type scheme. It's time. It's definitely time. All right, and let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Nick Sirianni. When I say I was refreshing my phone like crazy, because I'm like, man, are they going to pull the plug? We hearing his exit interview with Jeffrey Lurie. Refreshing. I'm hearing the players speaking. A lot of them spoke up for him, like the Fletcher Cox, even Jalen Hurts spoke up for him. Jalen Hurts spoke up for Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson. A lot of these dudes spoke up for Nick Sirianni, but let me go ahead and play the clips of the veterans speaking up. Even Jason Kelsey spoke up for Nick Sirianni, but again, let me go ahead and play these clips.
I answered that question the other day, and I don't know if you asked me something the other day about, and I said, what did I say?
Said you didn't know.
You didn't know?
Yeah. Like you didn't know.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was a thing. So I don't see why that wouldn't be the case. You know, we plan on fixing everything that we've done and growing together. Coach Sirianni, Brian, everyone.
Has you gotten any wind on what's going to happen with Nick, and are you have confidence in if you do come back, that confidence in him if he's also the head coach?
Like any news about what about Nick?
Nick, I mean, there's obviously some speculation about whether he may be fired or not.
Huh?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Nah, man, he head football coach of this team, man. Come on, man. There ain't even no discussion about that.
Okay, yeah,
man.
okay. You don't think it's going to happen?
Like, I don't got nothing to say about that, man. You're a clown, bro. Get out of my face, bro. What is it to talk about, man? Because, man, he's a winner. He's a winning head coach. You know, do we have some bumps this year? Yeah, but every team, every organization, everybody goes through it. But we don't look at firing a man who, you know, obviously has won 10-plus games 2 years in a row, that's took this organization to 3 playoff appearances 3 years in a row. You know, that's a respect. You know, coaches, he's a good leader for this team. He does a really good job. Did we come up short? Yeah. Did things happen this year? Yeah. But you don't look at, you know, or I don't discuss about, you know, firing a man or, you know, this man got a family. I don't discuss about anything.
I love Nick. I think Nick's a great coach. I really do. I think he's a great head coach. Obviously, you know, nobody was good enough this year. I wasn't. None of the players, none of the coaches were good enough down the stretch. That's the reality of this business. When you're that bad, it's a collective thing. And but you know, I'll always have faith in Nick Sirianni. I think he does a lot of things structurally and organizationally that I think are really well done. Obviously, we got a lot of things to fix to improve the outcomes and, you know, the offense in general. From my perspective for next year, but no, I think very, very highly next year.
All right. A lot of these dudes want him to stay. And again, refreshing my phone. So Diana Rossini put out Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman are calling around. They calling around for coordinators to add to the staff. So it sounds like Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman are close, and Howie Roseman want Nick Sirianni to stay. But the next tweet was really interesting because it was saying like, yo, he still got to meet with Jeffrey Lurie, but this new staff, this new plan, and whatever goes from there, it goes from there. They couldn't meet today, or yesterday, I should say. They couldn't meet because of logistical issues, but all bets are off. Like it, Nick Sirianni could still be fired, but I highly doubt it. If he comes with a plan of fixing the offense, I think I think Jeffrey Lurie give him another shot. I really believe Jeffrey Lurie gives him another shot because Nick Sirianni is not a dude that want control. He just want the title, and I think he'll do anything to keep his head coaching stint longer in Philadelphia. Whereas though Doug Peterson was like, I won the Super Bowl and this and that. He didn't care. He wanted to keep his guys, which though I don't see Nick Sirianni doing the same thing. But there are reports out there, and I think Joe Castro put this out there saying that we might even keep Brian Johnson on the staff if he doesn't get a head coaching job. That's really interesting too. How do you demote a guy? It didn't work with Sean Desai. So what you gonna do if Brian Johnson doesn't get a head coaching job? You're gonna demote him back to a quarterback coach, which he did great with Jalen Hurts. I'm not gonna front personally, but his ego, he's still a man, still have an ego. I don't know if that worked. I don't know if that worked. Simple as that. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today? Video a little long. It's a little long. Wanted to give you as much information as possible, like everything that happened. But it was edge of interviews. There was a lot going on. And but this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm up.